This is an open letter to Facebook. Here's the thing, my dear Facebook. This is an open letter one for Facebook because apparently we're going to have issues because if there are facts, if there are facts, you cannot call it hate speech. You can't say facts didn't happen. And there are only one set of facts, those kind of facts that you can find in an encyclopedia, in Wikipedia, in, some kind of encyclopedia of the major languages, then if not, then referencing the minor cultures and minor languages, wherever you reference it. Facts are facts. There are sources, there are witnesses, it comes on paper or it's typed on the computer and becomes facts. And those by saying that, okay, no, we have our own facts because that's only happens if you live in a different universe. You see, our facts are in not in the media, but they're in the Wikipedia, which is accessible to everyone, hopefully. Because of this Wikipedia, we know certain things happen, how they happened, and how they're happening right now. So you can't actually you can't actually start arguing with people that shut up. That's hate speech. It's facts. It's facts. That if by actually facts need to come out the most. I mean, whatever anybody states, you can check it on Wikipedia and find out, is this true, or talk to anybody who actually can see what's going on and does actually pay attention. Realize that what facts are facts. What the media is providing are basically, they're going for a very narrow point of view and trying to, instead of reflecting a wide array, they provide a narrow point of view but do some kind of gymnastics to make it relevant to the poor people, or because usually the rich pay for these medias so they can advertise in them and advertise themselves mostly in the medias, self-grandizing. So the whole point is that the media is really not doing a job of introducing all sides of the table. There is right side, and then to the right of the right side, and then you had the guy who Mr. Rand Paul, who was it, the Speaker of the House, the gentleman, the youngish gentleman who no, not Rand Paul, Paul Ryan, who had an advertisement flexing his muscle as if like, I'm like you, I'm a gym guy, for his advertisement as vice president of whoever, I think Romney. The whole point was this, that a large portion of these guys are Ayn Rand followers, and I just forced myself through like 3-4 hours of pain to see the whole Atlas Shrugged series of movies. Forced. The upsetting part, which is the basically the whole undertone of the whole movie, is quite simple. The upsetting part for me is where the guy, basically the good guy is the guy who says fuck everybody else. The good guys in this movie, I mean, we are talking about thousands of years of human evolution that has been able to form stable societies in order to evolve, has reached a point in which, you know, a group have decided to say no, we should go back to our roots, every man for himself. And in these movies they're portraying a godly man who basically says fuck everyone else. What I produce should be all mine. As a, this is like saying, as thanks to be born with such richness, instead of being thankful for that and because of it being, you know, happy to share, the guy who says that nope, me and me, I will only share with me, myself and I, fuck everybody else. And this is the hero of this idea of Rand Paul, is that basically Rand Paul is saying that the world would be a better place if everybody was more selfish. Now, you know, again, hundreds of thousands of years of human evolution, by one account 3 million years of human evolution, and we have reached the point of bacteria. Sort of like, let's see if the guy next to me, how does he taste? Maybe maybe I have him for dinner, literally for dinner, in a couple of months. It's that kind of silliness. And actually some people followed her, and some very well-known people, apparently, you know, the Mr. Greenspan was one of her followers when he was young. Well, I mean, old ideas don't wash away. Old ideas, you know, infest and stay for life. So a guy who thinks the idea of, basically the idea of, if you are selfish, the world will become a better place if everybody acts in a selfish manner. That's her diagnosis of the situation. And unfortunately, this has, ever since I can say, ever since Reagan, this idea has been promoted of, yes, you know, the less government involvement between the doers and the one who's being done to, it's sort of like, this is a good idea and nobody should speak about it. It becomes the idea. So let's agree on facts. The fact is that you can't dispute the facts, and the facts that says in for example in Iraq or in Syria there was much more stability. Who the fuck cares how that stability was reached? there was much more stability, less people died than what we have had since Saddam. So if there was an order, some kind of deal has to be reached with this motherfucker, Saddam. So, they can keep their dams and roads and airports and, not being blown up to pieces. So they have to, rebuild their infrastructure. We blew it up, you rebuild it. And next time, remember who's the boss. Now, and they're still doing it. We are killing Daesh. Now, I don't know Daesh from Maesh, and I care less for either one. But imagine I'm not from this planet. Not being from this planet, what I'm hearing is that a group of people from some tribes in an island here and a piece of land there and some other over here, their common theme is that they're pink skin, and these guys are doing some kind of military action with a lot of boom boom in that part of the world, and apparently they're trying to bring some kind of peace over there. And that's why they're doing this boom boom over there. They have their military over there, and they're doing this boom boom to bring peace through boom boom. This is what I'm seeing from space. That let's imagine I'm sitting above Earth's atmosphere, and I am having a front seat view of Earth, and I'm observing you. What I see is that northern hemisphere here, they're together, they have some kind of common beginnings with their religion and their heritage, their skin color. I see these guys just going to the other side of the same planet, the sphere, and boom boom boom, they're saying that they're killing bad guys and trying to bring some kind of peace. Peace doesn't come with boom boom boom. They're saying that, yes. Now where I'm going with this, my Facebook friends, where I'm going with this is that I made some sarcastic comments, some hurtful comments on the Facebook page of the British defense contractor, or I don't know, maybe this British Defense Journal. Basically, it's a journal of the contractors who provide the boom 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 for the apparently British, front line. So I left a few sarcastic but truthful comments, and Facebook banned me, restricted me for 7 days. It's like, okay, it is truth, isn't it? That there are, from these areas that are mostly historically pink skin majority, there's some hardware in another part of the planet. They're going boom 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 and killing some of the locals, that these guys are telling us that those are the enemies, and those locals are the good guys, and those locals are the bad guys, and let's go boom boom boom. There are no good guys, there are no bad guys. They're not. This is who they are. They're shit. They're all shit. But that doesn't mean boom boom boom. They're shit, and they know they're shit. Maybe they don't know they're shit, but they're shit. And the boom 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 part, both sides are shit. in most of these conflicts, because they have old histories together, old shitty histories together. But the whole idea of saying that if we take a side, there is a good side in this deal. I'm gonna sit up behind the guy with the white hat. It doesn't. It's not there. They're both shit. There is no good guys. There are no good guys. It's your interest and my interest. And when there is your interest overlaps my interest, then we have problem. Now, they're in there, and they will somehow work out their interest. But the whole idea of, you know, people from an island, the British island, taking military hardware, going over there on that side of the planet looking for a friend. Which side should I take? Seriously, they're looking for a friend. Okay, what do you have to say? What do you have to say? Okay, I go with him. He's right. We gotta fuck you. We gotta fuck you. You see what there are no friends over there. There is no what these guys say, what those guys say. You're not supposed to be there, my British friends. You're just not. They do what they have to do. Whether, you know, you think 1,000 years ago were the British, but I'm trying to say, how did they take care of their business when 1,000 years ago the British were not there? The pink skins of, you know, Northern Hemisphere were not there in Africa, in Asia, in Middle East, in South America. How would the 1,000 years ago, how did the locals take care of their business? The neighbors. Well, they still can do it themselves. There is no need for, you know, extracurricular activity by the pink skins going to other parts of this planet, raising the flag of Britain and saying, yes, we are with this side. Fuck you. Basically tying their fortunes to some of the locals over there. Did they invite you? Even if they invited you, they invite your tourists. They don't invite your guns. They could care less for your guns. In fact, they don't like your guns, my British friends, in, you know, their Gulf. The fucking Gulf was named after them. The Persian Gulf. It was named after them. Your gunboats got to be there. You have some kind of territorial claim over there. That your gunboats are. Is Saudi Arabia has become part of the British islands that now, you know, you're protecting against whom? Against other locals. They used to be neighbors for what, 3 million years? Ever since, even before humanity, the geography is very old. That geography has always been there. Whoever the fuck came into that geography started, you know, rubbing shoulders from the beginning. Whoever started settling that part of the geography of the planet Earth. So these guys, they solve their fucking problem. They're both shit. They solve their problem, whatever they want. They saw, however they used to solve their problem, they will continue solving their problem. The problem is your presence. You taking sides with one local shit against another local shit just because you want to have a piece in the game. This is the problem, my pink skin friends. You guys don't understand. You're not fighting for your pink skin. You don't. That's the facade. The rich people, the industrialists, the rich, you know, who always, you know, don't mind more. They have an issue with each other over who, you know, who owns the carousel. And a few states on planet Earth are stating that no, we don't think we should get on this carousel. Because, you know, we like some kind of independence. And countries like Venezuela and countries like Cuba, believe me, if people did not see the benefits of the Cuban Revolution, they would not. It would not be like this over there. I mean, the Los Angeles riots are an example of people dissatisfied with their situations, and these people have see the capital. The capital is the access to capital markets have been blocked for all Cubans, and they're still surviving. And you don't see, you know, Los Angeles riots there, and they don't have that kind of police force on the ground watching people all the time. So it's sort of like trying to say that, no. The system that we have been following, of the selfish system of, you only can keep it if you earn it. And it was actually really interesting that in these, the whole idea in these movies is that the hero is the guy who says, fuck everybody else. I am the smart one. I had initiative. I succeeded. Those who haven't, fuck them. Well, yeah, you can say that. Many have said that. But then you gotta move out, to Mars. Because sort of like, if you don't invest in the society around you, then you're gonna be living in a very dangerous society. And then you have to have a very overwhelming force present to suppress this very, aggressive society. The whole thing goes in a circle. The whole thing is a circle. That there is the whole thing is a circle. You don't invest in the education of the members of the society because it costs too much. Fuck them. It's a reproduction of somebody else. It's not important to me because it's not my reproduction. But tomorrow, your reproduction has to live in the same society as that reproduction that you didn't pay for. It's education. So more and more the society separates to a majority of less educated, simple folks, and small minority of really smart people, very smart and educated people. That minority becomes smaller and smaller and smaller, with all these less smart people than Mr. Bezos. All the less smart people lost to Mr. Bezos, and it was quite obvious. Somebody, not Mr. Bezos, Mr. Bezos. Doesn't matter what his name is. The whole game of capitalism is getting rid of your competition, so you own the market. That's the whole game of capitalism, and he has perfected it so far. But as far as the technology permits, but as you can see, the whole thing, the whole theater of capitalism, the money markets and the stock markets and the whole theater of capitalism, it was a theater. Now that it has become digitized, it has become more of a computer game and a guessing game, and all, everybody's watching the digits on their computer, wondering, and the whole thing has become this silly game of wondering whether these numbers on the screen will work out or will not work out, and whether economy will be fine or not be fine. And you're wondering to yourself, what are we doing, folks? I mean, no education is not very good. Many suicides, many homicides, Well, maybe a better education would help all of it. The suicide and the homicide, education of the people of the society. Education of the people of the society should be, you know, the highest investment of any society. But defense has become the high spending habit of the pink skin land. Even Mr. Trump is sort of like saying, hey, we are spending this much, you should spend more. What are we trying to invade Mars? Or are we going to, you know, are we investing in Armageddon? And why is the British bombing some fucking local shitheads in the middle of desert? Who cares which side they belong? Leave them alone. Don't show any interest. The locals, far longer than you came in, the locals have got along some way. Neither side wants to die. And your bombs are very lethal. So every time a new guy dies, a new person dies, and there's a new death, there is more anger and frustration created in the society around it. Against whoever the fuck is throwing these bombs. You have more enemies. Is that the objective? If you're trying to stop the shit, stop the bombing. Show no interest. Believe me, none of them wants to die. So if you don't show any interest, you don't provide any weapons, the big one, you know, the smaller one is probably has to take it easy, accept some kind of, you know, respect the bigger neighbor, and vice versa. The bigger neighbor respect the smaller neighbor because they need their vote in the United Nations. So they try to be nice. Your presence doesn't help my British Defense, you know, journal. The British Defense Journal is you know, the main article is like, yes, the new aircraft carriers that we have sent to the Middle East got their first blood in Daesh Fulan in Syria or Iraq or wherever the fuck these people are. It's sort of like the news. We killed a bunch of people. They were bad. Were they bad 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago? Were they bad 5,000 years ago? Would it have mattered to you whether they're bad 1,000 years ago? Oh, you have issues with them? Don't allow their citizens to come to your land. If you have issues with them, so, oh hey, we have issues with you. We don't want any of your citizens here. That's as far as you can go. But telling, saying that no, you're bad. We're going to bomb you because you're bad. And you think the whole thing will eliminate something. Where do you know my British Defense Journal and my Facebook supervisor? Where the fuck do you know that? Where do you ever heard that bombing has helped? Bombing has always increased the pressure, increased the stress, increased the problems, increased damage. Bombing doesn't solve anything. The motherfucker has brothers, sisters, aunts, uncle. Now you had one fucking enemy, now you have 12. What part of it do you colonialist pink skins don't understand? What part of it you don't understand? You bombing shitheads on one side against the shitheads on the other side does not help any of the shitheads. It just doesn't. Bombing doesn't create peace. Pulling back and saying, hey, you motherfuckers, you have to solve this yourself. I'm here minding my own business. That will solve a lot of problems. because none of them wants to get destroyed. So they somehow work things with each other. If Iraq needed to have more access to the Kuwaiti ports, the Kuwaitis would have said, yes, of course, because the Iraqis were the big brother, a country with 30 million population as opposed to a country with 5 million population. If there was no backing of the British, backing means basically, again, I have my finger in your pie, therefore this pie belongs to both of us. That's the relationship between the British and the Kuwaitis. I have my finger in your pie in somewhere else on this fucking planet. I have my finger there. Therefore, we are partners. So the British are partners with the Kuwaitis. These have been neighbors for 3 million years. This whoever was living fucking over here 3 million years ago were living together without any participation from the British pinkskins. I think they can manage for another couple of thousand years without the presence or taking sides by any British pinkskins. They can take care of that, and they don't need you motherfuckers to take sides. No, not at all. No. They will take care of each other if left alone. The smaller one will give right away to the bigger one, and things will work out and nobody gets destroyed and nobody gets killed. But apparently this was too much for Facebook. They banned me because why? I have booed one of their advertisers, the British Defense Journal, who buys ads and pays them. So Facebook is basically turning against me, who doesn't pay them, for the guys who are paying them for those advertisements, the British defense industry. And they call this, whatever they call it, they said they're spreading hate speech. No, I'm just stating facts. The pinkskins, European pinkskins, or Northern Hemisphere, people of pink skin from Northern Hemisphere are in the middle of your planet, where most of all the locals are brown, and the pinkskins are over there are playing shoot 'em up. They determine this side is a good side and that side is a bad side, and boom, boom, boom. And apparently this boom, 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 has to be better. I mean, if your plan, if the idea behind boom, boom, boom is let me get rid of the problem, that kind of small, boom, boom activity creates more problem. Because, aunts and uncles and blah, 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 they're related. Why not just go nuclear? Just boom the whole fucking country out of existence, and then, the pinkskins can go and, settle down and build better, which apparently what they do. Well, if that's the idea, okay, let's use nukes. But I guess nukes can also be justified in that case. If the idea is let's get rid of the whole fucking shithole so we can build better. Because this small activity, boom, 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 kills, you had one problem, now his whole fucking family is at his funeral and cursing your name. You created 12. Many of them were probably apolitical. Now, since their cousin was vaporized, now they have become political. And many of these folks, they don't give a fuck about politics. It's just that the more you do boom, 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 the farmer suddenly becomes political. And, you create more problems. Folks, tourists, British Defense Journal, you don't need to send soldiers or drones, not even soldiers anymore, just drones to try to create some kind of stability in the Middle East, by killing the bad guys, the guys with the black hats, as opposed to the guys with the white hats. You don't need to do that. They work something out if they don't have no backing from nobody, because in that case, the smaller one gives right away to the bigger one and everything remains peaceful. But you gotta mind your own business. Keep the British Defense Forces within the British territorial waters. And yeah, Facebook, these are facts. They're facts. The British has territorial claims on the other side of China. It's like, folks, you're one race that ended up in that fucking island. However the fuck your civilization is, it's, you cannot have any kind of say in any part of the world except the British island. You're in a few days, hopefully, in a few months, a few years, hopefully you won't even have that. It would be Britain, Scotland, and Wales, and Northern Ireland, and Ireland. Irish are going to be bigger than the English. Bigger mass of land than the English land. Thank God for that. You British are the troublemakers. You're the main problem on this planet. I've been studying you all my life. Just following the news and your own news. Even BBC. You are just, merchants. Let's go around, find friends, take sides, put our knuckles up somebody's ass. Because they were bad guys. Bad. Are we kids now? You go into a shithole and you say shit? Yes, they're all shit. It's a shithole. But they want to be alive shit rather than dead shit. So stop bombing them. Yes, Facebook, I guess that's too much asking that. Stop bombing them? To the British Defense Force? I hate the whole idea of Daesh and Ma'ish and Ka'ish and Fa'ish. Every one of them is Fa'ish. But the whole idea of saying if we kill a bunch of these fucking brown people, our problem is solved. Yeah. Facebook. There are going to be a couple of social media. This is ridiculous.